Hello, this is a video to Matt. I don't think I've done a direct video to Matt for about 5 years. And that's going to get into this video. And let's just start it off with something I need to say. And just in case I forget to say it, I think, Matt, you are a self-centered, silly, self-centered child. Okay, so that's out of the way, and I can get into the more talky video part of it. Now, I listened to the video that I'll link this to on YouTube via Gary. Gary was talking over it, and that was this morning. Now, this is my lunchtime, and in between I've been preparing an area to put some concrete on it. And I didn't have my ears in and nothing else was going on except I'll go with Gary's explanation of it. My subconscious was presenting to the consciousness that is me. So we all know this experience. I'm talking to Matt, I suppose, so you know this experience, you know what happens. The things are coming to mind. And because it was the last video I'd watched before I went out to work, it went around in my head a while, and little things came up, and certainly nothing to make a video, until one thing came up, and it was 5 years. Just that. And then there was this is all, as Gary says, subconscious things coming up. But that 5 years had looped itself back in and was significant, or significant enough, to push out a whole tidal wave of more thoughts. That it wasn't really 5 years, it was nearly 6 years since, I'll keep it to the 3. In semi-thinking about this video, I was thinking of including Pyro and Greatex as well. But just the 3 of us, you, Gary and I, it was 6 years ago, but let's call it 5 because that's tidier. It's 5 years ago that we were kind of discussing things, brain things, life things. Now, the difference is, and this is what I think came to me, your life has gone from roughly, from the age of about 20 to 25. Roughly, I don't know what exactly it is. And Gary and I have gone roughly from, I don't know, what is it, 45 to 50, let's say. Now, speaking for myself, I've gone off the line of what we kind of on YouTube call philosophy, and I've done 5 years of economics and finance and learned an awful lot. I've kind of dropped that now and I'm going on to other things. Gary, and this is what's also more than just vaguely important, is kind of doing the same things, but he's doing them so much better than he did 5, 6 years ago. He has picked up arguments, as Greatex says, from him. He's probably taken, I don't know if he's got anything from Pyro. I know he's got some things from me as well. But he's got so much from his Stickam, from his videos, although it doesn't look like it. He listens to people and is very influenced by people, and his arguments have changed. Not so much the base of them has changed, but the presentation of them is so much sharper, so much better, so much more easy to understand for people. He's refined his arguments an awful lot in that 5 years. And I haven't followed your videos, but seeing that video this morning of yours, it was pathetic. It would have been a pathetic video 5 or even 6 years ago, when you were just a young thing. But the realization this 5 years that sent this torrent of thought through that's created this video is that you're going to some university. I think you're at Berkeley, aren't you? And I just so hope that you haven't had to take out a huge loan to go and learn what you're learning, because far as I could see from that video, you've not learned a thing. You've not grown up a day in 5 years, basically. We have moved on. You have not. And you're the young one. You should be bounding on. You are wasting your time. Now, I feel involved in this because we've done our videos together. Via Gary, we've done videos. I've sent you PMs, you've sent me PMs. We've done a lot of that sort of thing. And my advice has always been the same, that you should just go and be a doctor, like you probably will be one day. But you've gone in for this stupid, to get a degree in delusion. And okay, you've gone in this far, but 5 years, is it 4 years maybe that you've been doing it? I don't know how long. In this day and age, you have to go through to the end. So you might as well get your degree in delusion, and maybe having to semi-believe it might make you write the right things and get the answers in the end. But basically, you've always been a bright boy, and this is why it's so frustrating and annoying, because you are a bright boy, and I'm sure the ultimate questions at the end, the big test at the end, you'll be able to do it easily, because all they'll be asking you to do is write delusions out. And if one thing we know you can do is spouted delusions, so you'll cruise it. That's no problem. But what I'm saying is now, and I'm doing it in the video so everyone can see it because you've not listened to any of my PMs, get thee onto the interwebs and start looking for something like a volunteer program where you can leave America and all your advantages and go and help some real people in the world. And when you realize that you do not have the skills that you could have had, but have not got the skills to help these people, hopefully you'll sit there getting frustrated that you can't help them more, or something might hopefully happen, and you'll eventually fly back to America, and you might have to apologize to people and say, look, I've screwed up over the last 5 years. What I really want to do is actually help people or do something constructive. And I've got the brain. I need to go back to college, university, whatever you call it, and start again. And if you are honest enough, I'm sure basically it'll be your parents. They'll bung you the money and it'll be all right in the end. But this is kind of a final warning to you. And it's not a warning from me. It's a warning from somebody that's older, that has learnt things, something that you seem incapable of doing. That you've now got a very, very, very small window. You'll get your degree in delusion, but very, very soon after that, if you keep pushing it, you will be so invested in that delusion that you will not be able to drop it ever in your life. And you're a bright boy. Repeat again, you're a bright boy. You will grow up one day. You will look yourself in the mirror and go, this is all total shite. And you won't be able to live with yourself, because you'll realize the reality of life, that you really won't be able to, and it'll be in months' time. You could get away with 2 years, but I think it'll be months' time. Much more of this delusion, and you'll be so invested in it, you'll have to do it for the rest of your life. Even though before the rest of your life is finished, you definitely will see yourself in the mirror and realize what deluded shite this is that you're spouting. And you won't be able to live with yourself, because you won't have an out. You'll be totally and utterly trapped. So what I'm saying is, yes, go along with your degree in delusion. Get it so it can be on your CV as somebody that gets in there and finishes something. And even believe it right to the end. But start now of writing away to somewhere that you can get away from these ridiculous influences and get into the real world somewhere, certainly out of America, South America, and do nicely, and go and try and help people and realise that the delusions that you learned are not inadequate, they're utterly useless for actually helping people in real life. As you will find, it's impossible, and it won't help you in real life either. And hopefully you'll get that understanding and that realisation very, very soon. As soon as you get there, I should think you start getting it, and then want to actually do something constructive with your life. Because, I repeat again, you are a bright bunny, you're a bright boy. But for the moment, just as you were 5 years ago, 6 years ago, you're just a self-centered, self-deluded idiot. And you can't go on through life being so self-centered. Maturity eventually catches up with it. And it hates that sort of thing. And you won't be able to live with those two things going on. But if you've do it for a couple more years, you'll be so invested and you'll be so steeped in it, you'll have to live the rest of your life as a lie. And I don't want to see you carry on doing this nonsense anymore. Certainly not. That's enough. You must have the idea by now that Nick is very, very disappointed with you and hopes sincerely that you can get yourself out of this stupid state. And the only way I can see you doing it is getting out of America and completely and realising that there is a reality out in the world that an awful lot of people have to actually live with. And it's a very nice thing for a human being to help them, really. And the stuff that you're learning at the moment, the way you are at the moment, your self-centered delusions, isn't going to help anybody. It's not going to even help yourself. So I think that's enough of that. I wish you the best, Matt. But really, you haven't got much time left. Bye.